People who always help others look unbreakable on the outside, like steel wrapped in a smile. Yet inside they are fighting wars no one sees. Their minds are programmed to scan every room for pain, to fix, to soothe, to rescue, until caring for others becomes a reflex and caring for themselves becomes an afterthought. How do you refill a cup that is never allowed to stay full? They carry everyone else's storms like an umbrella, but who holds one over them? Day after day, they say, "I'm fine," like a shield, while their body whispers of exhaustion, while their heart leans closer to burnout. Strong friend, gentle healer, constant supporter, how many roles can one soul hold before it fractures? This is the curse of the empath, always available, always reliable, and silently disappearing. So where does this curse begin? And why is it so hard to break? For many empaths, the real prison isn't other people's demands, it's the guilt that rises the moment they think of saying no. Inside, an old script plays on repeat. Kindness is valuable. Helping means I deserve love. If I stop helping, I disappear. This script is usually written early inside a family where love felt conditional. When you helped, you were praised. When you were tired, when you hesitated, when you needed space, you were quietly ignored. Approval became currency, and your generosity became the only way to pay. So you learned to anticipate needs, to rush in, to fix first, and feel later. Now, as an adult, every no sets off alarms in your body. Cortisol rises, your heart races, and a simple boundary feels like a betrayal. You overcommit, overpromise, override your limits, not because you're so kind, but because you're so afraid. Afraid of conflict, afraid of disappointment, afraid that if you are not endlessly useful, you will no longer be chosen. And from here, the weight of other people's emotions begins to sink even deeper. For an empath, walking into a room is like walking into a sea of invisible weather. You don't just see faces, you feel forecasts. One person is anxious, one is heartbroken, one is quietly angry, and your nervous system starts mirroring all of it at once. Those mirror neurons in your brain light up like a screen, replaying other people's pain inside your own body. You don't choose to absorb it, it happens the way a sponge meets water, the way skin meets rain. You listen, you comfort, you hold space, and when the conversation ends, their shoulders are lighter, but your chest is heavier. You step away and suddenly feel tired and strangely sad, not because you are weak, but because your inner mirror reflects too deeply, too often. Without boundaries, empathy becomes overload, compassion turns into collapse, and then there is the strong friend mask. Because you always look composed, people assume you are fine. Because you listen, people forget to ask. Your support becomes expected, not cherished, normal, not noticed. Over time, you stop reaching out, you stop explaining, you stop hoping. You hide your tears, you joke away your stress, you say, "It's okay, I'm good." Yet somewhere inside, a voice keeps whispering, "But who takes care of the one who takes care of everyone?" And that question is where the next wound begins. For many empaths, the line between love and sacrifice is drawn in fog. They don't just help, they overgive. They don't just care, they overstay in other people's chaos. Somewhere inside, a belief whispers, "The more I suffer, the more I matter. The more I bend, the more I'm loved." So they say yes when they're tired, yes when they're hurting, yes when every part of their body is begging for rest. Yes to extra shifts, yes to late night calls, yes to emotional emergencies that arrive without warning. They fear conflict, they fear distance, they fear that one honest no will make everything fall apart. You know that feeling, when protecting yourself feels more dangerous than abandoning yourself. But a boundary is not a brick wall. It is a gentle filter. It doesn't shut love out, it lets real love in. It filters out the disrespect, the entitlement, the constant taking, and keeps your energy for what truly matters. Yes, when you start saying no, you may lose some fake peace, but you gain real respect, real clarity, real self-trust. And then comes another quiet pain. Receiving love. The empath, who always gives, often freezes when the spotlight turns back on them. A compliment feels undeserved, a favor feels uncomfortable, genuine care feels suspicious. Like imposter syndrome in love, they wonder, if you really knew me, would you still stay? Yet the truth is simple and disarming. Accepting help is not selfish, it is self-acceptance. The people who truly love you don't need your perfect service. They just need your imperfect, honest, fully present you. Deep down, many empaths live by a silent equation. My value equals how useful I am. If they are not fixing, not rescuing, not giving, they feel themselves fading. No role, no task, no crisis, and suddenly they feel like nothing, where you are when no one needs saving. This is conditional self-worth. When identity is tied to service, you only feel real when you are exhausted. But you were not born to be a tool, you were born to be a person. You are not worthy because you help. You help because you are already worthy. Healers need healing, strong hearts need rest. Pausing, stepping back, breathing, that is not failure, that is how you return to your grounded, alive self. If you saw yourself in these words, you're not alone. Empaths, strong friends, quiet healers, this space is for you. If this video made something inside you feel seen, stay a little longer with me. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this with the one friend who never asks for help. Tell me in the comments which part felt like your story, so we can heal, learn, and set gentler boundaries together. You don't have to do this alone.